Monday, November 27th, and it's not going to take us any time at all this week to reach We are basically already there. First of all, that 49ers Seahawks game feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? An awful lot has happened since that Thursday night win up in Seattle on Thanksgiving. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And then we had a big consequential weekend of college football. The NFL slate played itself out yesterday with an Eagles-Bills game that was for the ages, and that sets up 49ers and Eagles in the heavyweight title fight that we have all been waiting for. Oh my goodness, what a week we have in front of us. It is good to have you here on the Damon Bruce Show. Thank you for coming to the Plus. It grows. It expands. We're over 9,800 subscribers on our way to 10,000. I want to be there by the end of the Eagles game. I'm getting aggressive this week, and I want you to get aggressive with me. Please like, please share this show with your inner circle. The day's already begun with the 49ers wake up. I mean, that is how all hands on deck we are here. Larry and I just did almost 2 hours after agreeing to go about an hour this morning. Of course, we went long because that's what 49ers and Eagles brings. Massive amount of attention and speculation and consequence. Oh my God. The consequence of this game. How about this? You want to be a 1 seed? There's no way that's going to happen without it. There's a chance it doesn't even happen with it. Without it, no chance at all. 49ers got a huge game in Philadelphia, and the Eagles got a huge game coming up with the 49ers. What a huge game the Eagles were able to win just on Sunday over the Bills in overtime. Jake Elliott driving home one of the all-time big balls kicks in the history of the NFL's regular season, and it was just... It was a very good game. It was sloppy at times. It was poorly officiated at times, with an awful lot of that poor officiating helping the Eagles across the finish line. But they have nothing to apologize for. All the Eagles' job is to win, and that's basically all they do. All respect to the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts, that offensive line, that defense, it is nasty. And that's why this 49ers game coming up Sunday is so important, because you know that that's a real opponent waiting for you. You know what happened in the NFC title game last year. You know who got knocked out of that. And you know that if he doesn't get knocked out, I think you got a puncher's chance as good as anybody. And I was shocked to find out that the 49ers are even favored. So far, early line in this game is Niners minus 3.5. Wow. I'm going to tell you right now, I think the Niners can win this game, but I'm going to have to see it to believe it. And if you're telling me that I get a 10-1 football team at home and I'm getting points, I think I'd take that. I think I would take that. It's not going to be easy to just roll in there and beat the Eagles. Not even close to being easy. As far away from easy as football gets, as a matter of fact. And those Eagles, man, they got scrapple in them. They really do. And Jalen Hurts is a bona fide, straight up, no doubt about it, winner. That guy can have a lousy, or not lousy, but an off game with his arm and make it up with his legs. Jalen Hurts, this guy, he just beats every 500 team that's supposed to be threatening the Eagles. He knocks out just about everybody, and you got to respect it. Jalen Hurts is one of the best running backs in terms of scoring touchdowns in Philadelphia Eagles history. The most rushing touchdowns in Eagles history, Steve Van Buren, who played in the 40s, is sitting with 69 rushing touchdowns in Eagles franchise history. After that, we jump to the 80s for Wilbert Montgomery. Some of you will remember that name. He had 45 touchdowns. Then we get into more modern times. LaShawn McCoy, 44 touchdowns. Brian Westbrook, 37 touchdowns. And he did that in 107 games with the Eagles. Jalen Hurts also has 37 rushing touchdowns, and he's done that in only 56 games. That's it. This guy is one of the best goal line backs in football. He's like the NFL version of Tim Tebow when it comes to scoring touchdowns with your legs, not just with your arms. And remember this, that Tim Tebow is the greatest goal line back in the history of the SEC. So this is a guy who can beat you in a lot of different ways. The Eagles, just like the Niners, are incredibly scheme dynamic. They can beat you in a screen game. They can beat you throwing the ball downfield. They can beat you in the middle of the field, outside the hashes. And they got a running game, which dropped, I think, 180 yards last night. I mean, they can just do pretty much what they want to do on a football field because of that offensive line, which, with an injury maybe to Johnson and an injury maybe to Kelsey, might not be as toothy as it's been to this point in the year. And you can't help but notice that the Eagles are just going through a gauntlet of opponents right now with the Cowboys and the Chiefs. And the Cowboys are coming up next for the Eagles after this 49ers game. And they're going to be out-rest advantaged in both of these games. The Eagles will be. So if they're going to catch a couple losses, it better come now, and the 49ers better serve them one up in Philadelphia. It's going to be a really, really fun show all week long. I can tell you that we're going to be live at 9 a.m. tomorrow, a little early, all right? We'll still come back and do a Plu show at 11. We'll always be there for you at 11. But a 9 a.m. interview with John Kincaid, who is a great sports talk radio host in Philadelphia. He knows the Eagles like the back of his hand, and we're really going to get into the nuts and bolts of this matchup when he joins the channel tomorrow morning. And I'm looking forward to John Kincaid, who is just, you want to talk about a hell of a year. This guy's been battling cancer, and he's beating it back again. Is a hell of a talent. He's a great guy. He's one of the good people left in an industry full of schmucks. And I'm really looking forward to catching up with him tomorrow. I'm working on trying to get Nick Wright to swing through before the year is over. No promises this week, but before the year is over is kind of what we'd like to do with Nick, to talk about, how wrong he might have been. But if you really want to be able to throw darts, the 49ers got to go and throw darts at the Eagles and win at the Link. Game of the year. Nothing less than the game of the year awaits the 49ers. I mean, bragging rights and the start of everybody's show on next Monday is one thing. It's another to have an actual track to a 1 seed. And the 49ers are off that track right now. With a win in Philadelphia, they can get back on it. Now, they won't control their own destiny, but how about this? If you want to even think of a 1 seed, you got to beat Philadelphia. What a game last night. That field goal that Jake Elliott drove through is just, how often do you think about a field goal that happened in a game that, that's not your team. That's not your favorite team did not hit the field goal, or your favorite team was not beaten by such a dramatic field goal. You're just watching. You're just a neutral observer. It's one of the greatest field goals. It's one of the greatest special teams plays ever. Driving rain, all the pressure in the world, and he drilled that bad boy. Drilled it. So something else. We'll get to Hassan Reddick and his rabbit ears here, that he's hearing things that really I don't even remember being that much of there's nothing to really talk about. But we'll get to that in just a second. What I want to get to right now, without any further ado, is how thankful coming out of Thanksgiving I have been for all of you. I hope you and your families had a great one. How thankful. I pushed the wrong button. I'm thankful that while I pushed the wrong button, trying to stop the video, I actually deleted the video, so I'm going to have to re-download that at some point here. But yeah, just a little oops there. What I wanted to tell you is how thankful I am for my sponsors. I hope you enjoyed that video. And I hope you enjoy a delicious sandwich from Ike's. I'm telling you, the leftovers are probably dying down in your fridge right now. You got to start thinking about lunch again. Think about Ike's. Get yourself to Ike's. Download the Ike's Rewards app and start eating your way towards free sandwiches. We want to give love all the way around, and we want to give love to Jax. I'm wearing a Jax t-shirt today, an old San Francisco Sea Lions, which was obviously a team that played a long time ago in San Francisco, and they have a Cub because the Lions couldn't even afford their own mascot, so they had to borrow jerseys, and it's one of the cool logos that you can only get at Jax. Go to jaxsf.com and use promo code DamonBruce10 when you check out, and you can get all of your holiday shopping for all the sports fans in your life done at jax.com. And I want to tell you about Dr. Paul Hughes and Hughes Orthopedics, which is now sponsoring Postgame and Damon when we go live, and we will be going live at the 2-minute warning of 49ers and Eagles, as is tradition. It'll be brought to you by Hughes Orthopedics. He has done a plasma replacement therapy on my knee, and I am 48 years old. My knee right now is 28 years old again. It feels fantastic. It feels great. My bone-on-bone absolute candidate for a knee replacement. I don't think I'm going to need anything replaced because this treatment is new science and it works. And if you're interested, go to Hughes Orthopedics, look them up, and I can tell you where you look them up if I just open this up right here. Go to orthopedicsurgeries.com, orthopedicsurgeries.com to learn everything you need to know about his treatment, his advanced medicine, and his reputation as really a fantastic doctor. I feel wonderful after going to see Dr. Paul Hughes, and you will too. So there you go. That is an awful lot of love to my sponsors. Of course, Uncle Boys is still the sponsor of a little good for ball, bad for ball, which we get to each and every Friday, but wanted to give Uncle Boys a shout out and some love here early on in the week as well. We're going to give you guys a chance to shout out and get some love when we hop into the chats. A little Club Plus will be happening before it is all said and done. But before we get there, dude, Hassan Reddick seriously needs to chill out. Hassan Reddick is talking about something that really didn't even happen, and when it did happen, this is hardly bulletin board material. So Hassan Reddick says that the 49ers talk is cheap. And on an interview that he did with some, station in Philadelphia, he basically said that the 49ers players thought that an injury to their starting quarterback, just a handful of plays into an NFC title game, affected the outcome of that NFC title game. How are you even going to try to turn that very lukewarm, very easily, reasonably to wrap your mind around statement into bulletin board material? I don't know. But Hassan Reddick says talk is cheap. They got to come back to the link. It was a lot of boo-hoos last year, a lot of crying. I don't remember that. I don't remember a single 49er crying in the offseason. I remember a few guys bringing up the fact geez, it's really terrible that our starting quarterback went down in a playoff game, which, you know what, is a truth. It's a truth. How good do you think the Eagles will be if within the first 5, 6, 7, 8 plays Sunday, Jalen Hurts is knocked out of that game? Is that going to change things a little bit? Of course. There's no controversy here. This is not crying. This is not boo-hooing. This is not, oh, the refs, oh, the woe's me. This is geez, we went there to have a fair fight, and unfortunately, due to an injury, we couldn't fight very fair very early on into that game because, like any team in football, when your starting quarterback goes down, the equation to compete changes dramatically. What are you talking about, Hassan Reddick? Look, I'm out here covering who's talking, who's saying what, and I don't remember a endless trail of tears from the 49ers. I remember some disappointment. I remember the reason for that disappointment, thinking, hey, we went there to throw our best punch, and due to that injury, we couldn't throw our best punch. And that sucks. And it did suck. It denied football fans the game that we hoped to get in the NFC title game. Now, We get part 2 Electric Boogaloo coming up on Sunday. And I hope both teams are at absolute full strength, nobody hurt, nothing controversial going on at all, ready to go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm ready, and I hope you are too. So, there's talk of point differential. This is something I was talking about with Larry. I really don't know how to interpret point differential because if there's one, look at it this way. Let's say you win every single game by 1 point. Every single time you play, you're only winning by 1 point, but you go 17-0. What kind of year did you just have? Well, there's a lot of teams that outperform their opponent on a week-to-week basis, but no one's ever gone 17-0, so what you just had is the single greatest football season of all time. Point differential be damned. Your point differential of 17 in a 17-0 season means you're the greatest football team that ever played the sport of football. That's what that means. There is no sport where the scoreboard matters less. It's just who won, who lost. And having said all that, the 49ers are the much better team on the scoreboard. The Eagles got the better record at 10-1, but man, the 49ers are now plus 140 after stomping the Seahawks on Thanksgiving. The Eagles are plus 64. The Cowboys are an NFL best 162. What does that mean? Well, one of the reasons why the Niners got such a nice point differential is because they beat the Cowboys as loudly as they did. So I don't know how that all goes into the mix of handicapping a game that's got a line on it that I don't even understand. How the 49ers are giving points in Philadelphia, okay. Don't think that means that Vegas thinks that the Niners are that better. What they're trying to do is make sure that they're not compromised because too many people bet on one team. That's what that Vegas is just trying to even out the balance of the wagers. So I don't know what the hell that means, but I'm surprised by that one. Very surprised by that one. There was a person who came into the comments section on 49ers Wake Up and brought a very good point forward that Larry and I had been talking about, but not with this detail that he offered. The Eagles defense, like they seem like they might be wearing down a little bit. I don't know, but how could they not? They've played 166 snaps over their last 2 games. Chasing the Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills all around the field for 166 plays is a lot. That defense was out there for 72 plays against Kansas City and 92 plays against the Bills. With the 49ers having some extra rest, you're talking about all the things that go into what precedes a game. That gets factored in. Absolutely, it has to be factored in. So, welcome. It's Eagles week, baby. It doesn't get better than that. Doesn't get more important than that. Doesn't come more consequential than that in the NFC. And we're going to be bringing it to you all week here. Again, 9 a.m., John Kincaid tomorrow for Inside the Eagles with one of the best in the business in Philadelphia. I'm looking forward to that very much. Some consequences around the NFL from this weekend. I'm sure you've seen that Frank Reich is out. He is done in Carolina. Another in-season firing from David Tepper, who is quickly becoming the most meddlesome, feckless owner in this league. He's got a lot of money, he's got a lot of thoughts, and he doesn't have much winning at all to point at and say, I'm responsible for that. All Frank Reich needed to do was be a guy who was grooming Bryce Young in his rookie year. You just fired the guy who was grooming Bryce Young in his rookie year. How that makes Bryce Young better right now, I do not know. As a matter of fact, I know that won't make him better. Frank Reich is a good coach in a bad situation. I don't know who's ripping it up in Carolina this year. I saw that the Raiders have released Marcus Peters. He got benched on Sunday. So you can go ahead and get Marcus Peters, who might be one of the worst tacklers in the league. But, for the right price, maybe the 49ers want to kick the can on just a little. It's experienced NFL depth at a position that should somebody go down, Having Marcus Peters isn't the worst thing in the world. He's not good. He's not good anymore. Just throwing that out there. And what is a hard to wrap your mind around rumor? Indiana football fired head coach Tom Allen. John Gruden has actually been attached to the Indiana football opening. He's got some history with the program. He was in Bloomington very, very early in his career. John Gruden needs a reclamation project to rebuild his image. And it would be buzz. I don't know how successful he would be. But John Gruden using Indiana to rebuild his image? Okay, look, I click on that show if it's being offered. Sure. Just offer me interesting instead of sucking in perpetuity, IU, please. Speaking of IU, the basketball team beat Harvard yesterday, and I was at Chase Center watching a Big Ten team go down to the USF Dons. Dons beat the Minnesota Golden Gophers, and so that's a good win for them. They're an interesting and fun team, man. I like the Dons. I liked watching them. I'm going to go to a few games this year for sure, and we will hopefully maybe even be able to have a little Plus meetup maybe at a Dons game. That sounds like it could be fun. Looking ahead to this week, things that aren't 49ers and Eagles. The Golden State Warriors have won 2 of 3. Okay, 2 of 3. Draymond comes back Tuesday night up in Sacramento. Already the third game this year with the Kings is set to tip off in Sacramento, 7 o'clock on Tuesday. It's an in-season tournament game, and according to Anthony Slater, the in-season tournament setup on Tuesday is if the Thunder beat the Wolves, so you got to do some out-of-town scoreboard watching, folks, but if the Thunder beat the Wolves, the winner of the Warriors and Kings game wins Group C. If the Wolves beat the Thunder, the Warriors have to beat the Kings by 13 or more points to grab a 3-way tie and win Group C. So, Warriors got to win, and if the Wolves beat the Thunder, they got to win by at least 13 for the in-season tournament, which will be remembered for what? Just these courts more than its champion, I think. But I don't know. If you're into it, that's great. I'm glad you got something pulling you into the NBA. I didn't need a gimmick to pull me into the NBA. I'll watch any Warrior game that's on. So, okay. But here we are. The schedule is really odd for the Warriors coming up. Very odd. 3 of their next 4 games against the Clippers, with 2 of those games scheduled in LA. The other game of the 3 of the 4, the 4th, is a return to Phoenix. The Warriors just dropped a game there the night before Thanksgiving. It was a weird game where the second unit brought the Warriors back into that game, and at the end of the game, when it's like, okay, so now put Steph Curry back in because you're down by 3 and you got the greatest three-point shooter of all time. You might want to let him get a shot off. Steve didn't go back. Okay. Early season rotations decisions from Steve Kerr have been widely discussed. And we will widely discuss these things throughout the week. I'm looking forward to a little Warriors basketball this week as well. Before we hop into Club Plus today, let me tell you about what Jim Bowden said on MLB Network Radio. And I really don't even want to share this with you, but I will. It's technically baseball news, and it's technically about the Giants, so here we go. Stop me if you've heard this one before, but they will not be outbid for stars. Right? I mean, Farhan has cried wolf enough times to where I really don't want to hear it. But this is Jim Bowden saying that with Ohtani's free agency underway, San Francisco is preparing to pull out all the stops in an effort to land Shohei Ohtani. And he believes that the Giants will offer Shohei Ohtani at least $500 million. And then the question will be, will Ohtani take it? Ohtani's priority is signing with a winning ball club, not the highest paycheck out there, is the rumor. I'm just naive and in love with Ohtani enough to actually believe that he's really looking for a chance to compete on the stage that Anaheim never offered him. And if that is really his motivator, well, then signing with the Giants probably doesn't happen at any price. The Texas Rangers could be involved. The Dodgers could be involved. The Mariners might be involved. But again, if winning is the central decision maker, how the Mariners are involved, I do not know. And how the Yankees or the Braves or the Phillies is not in this discussion. If winning is everything is kind of hard to wrap your mind around. So there you go. How about that? The Giants are going to offer Shohei Ohtani an awful lot of money. Will he take it? Yes or no? I feel like I've seen this movie before. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. We're going to have a fun week. This week starts in November. It ends in December. And we got the game of the year in the NFL waiting for us on Sunday. I hope that you choose to come back here for everything that we're going to be doing and the videos that are going to be coming up and the interviews and just the great content that we prepare to give you all week long. This is going to be a fun week here. Again, we are growing, baby. Hit that subscribe button. 9,823 subscribers. Let's get to 10 by the end of the Eagles game. By the time I do a little post-game and Damon starting at the 2-minute warning of 49ers Eagles, I want to be at 10,000. I can't do it without you. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit notify, and share this station with your friends. Your friends sick and tired of the hot take artists who are terrible at even staying inside the lines as they paint? Well, come over here. It's the opposite of all of that nonsense. Maybe that will prevent us from growing rapidly. I don't know. I'd rather do it like this with adults sitting at the adult table than eating nuggets with the kids over at the idiot table. Or I mean the kids' table. God bless the kids. All right. Oh, I see we're at the top of the chat where it's like Sarah's like, uh-oh. Yeah, la profesora. Yeah, Damon pushed the wrong button, and then he tried to stop it, and then he deleted it, and we're okay. But we're not at the end. We kept going. I hope I didn't have a whole bunch of people drop off there when they saw the Godzilla, baby. The podcast is growing. 49ers Wake Up is available in podcast form. Thank you for tuning in. I'll never waste your time. That is my promise to you. So thanks for sticking around today. And please do remember that sports don't build character, they reveal it. And like that, he's gone. Okay. Here we go. Get sexy. I got this heater cranking. It is too hot. I gotta get that bad boy down. There you go. Smiley Dan doing a little promo saying SF Jacks for all your t-shirt holiday needs. Use promo code DamonBrews10. Boom, boom, boom. Save 10%. JacksSF.com. It's just awesome gear. Awesome gear. Sporticus says, Allen's terrible interception gave the Eagles a chance. Gift wrapped it. Look, wide receiver breaks to the back of the end zone instead of inside. That looks like a game-winning touchdown. As soon as the Bills were settling for that field goal in overtime, it felt like they just lost the game right there. $11-11 shots everywhere. Well, here's the thing. We already did sip of the day earlier in the day. You know how it is on a wake up. By the way, that 49ers wake up show that Larry and I do together is the most consumed sports talk radio station in San Francisco whenever we do it. We are outnumbering KNBR's and 95.7 The Game's YouTube audience combined. So there's 2 sports talk stations in San Francisco. When Larry and I host 49ers Wake Up together, consider that a 3rd sports talk station, and we are beating the 2 actual real sports talk stations. So that's fun. That's nice. I like that. Go for Broke, by the way, is the one who came with the 72 plays. It was 74 plays, 166. Let's get that right. I was 74 plays against Kansas City. Look at Baroque breaking his research down, but go for broke. It's one of the best points that illuminates the Eagles looking like they're slowing down just a little. They've been playing an awful lot of football, but go for broke. Thank you very much for the super chat and for the great information. Obey Banksy says retribution against the Chiefs or Ravens if the Niners go to the bowl. Look, the Dolphins could still crash that party. The Jacksonville Jaguars could still crash that party. The Chiefs aren't who they used to be. I think the Ravens need to be taken very, very seriously. And the not who they used to be Chiefs need to be taken seriously. But I'm not. How about this? I don't even want to worry about the Super Bowl right now, what the Super Bowl matchup could be. Albert says, Damon, what did you do to your knee to go on the road to replacement? Weekend warrior? No, well, it's a knee that got shredded when I was younger and just, arthritis, bone on bone. The dissolution, the dissolving of my meniscus means I got bone on bone. So that's what it was. That's why it was happening. Club Plus, so hot right now. Thank you. CJ Gray says, my wife has got bad knees and needs whatever you had. Dead serious. Check out orthopedicsurgeries.com for Dr. Paul Hughes, who has now got a treatment that will help you avoid that orthopedic surgery. Fat cells in the knee. It's the Kobe. I got the Kobe. And old Dirty Hungus was like, dude, look at this. Damon's now got a 42-inch vert. No, still very much floor bound. Very floor bound. Never daunted. Again, Gruden to IU thoughts. There's a part of me that says, all right, I think I'd rather see John Gruden there than some, guy from the MAC who gets a promotion to the, you have one of the best jobs in the MAC. Now you got promoted to the worst job in the Big Ten. Congratulations. You probably won't have much success and we'll be looking for another coach. Any coach does have success at Indiana, you're going to be looking for another coach because that person's about to bolt. And Gruden would bolt for NFL pastures faster than most, right? Should it be offered again? But Gruden possibly going to IU, it's more interesting than had Tom Allen coached another year. I'll give you that. What I want is the athletic director to do a huge line of cocaine, just turn full wrestling heel, embrace the dark side, go full evil, and just say, get me Urban Meyer on the phone. I'm tired of Indiana trying to make the right hire, the nice hire. How about this? Spend all the money you got on the best living coach that there might be in college who isn't working in college right now. And I don't care what he did in the past. I don't care if he abused players or kicked his NFL kicker or washed out in the NFL or put his hands up some chick's snatch in a bar. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I just want to win 8 games 1 year in Bloomington once as a football team. That's it. I don't care who has to die for that to happen. God damn it. Now I'm pissed. Indiana football. Oh, by the way, here's another thing that pissed me off. Purdue is now the number 1 ranked basketball team in the country, and they're deserving of it. They're good. Frickin' Purdue. Ugh. All right. So what do we got going on here? Lots of chatting. No doubt about it. 10-1 Eagles, 8-3 Niners, game of the week. Let's talk at what it's really happening. It's game of the year. Albert's right saying, that game should be flexed into Sunday Night Football, but networks get to protect teams and games from not being flexed, and there's no one's ever coming off that game. The Duchess was calling. Means she's not watching. She should be watching. I got the new iPhone app, or the new operating system. I'm just watching my mom leave me a voicemail, and it's tracking that, like it's like running down what she's saying in real time. Damn, technology, you impressive. Seriously, I just got like a transcript of the of what my mom was leaving in real time. And there you go. I mean, I didn't take a call from the Duchess to be with you. How about that? Steve Wilkes, next Carolina head coach. Let's not go there, Ken. I don't think so. But yeah. Oh, now I'm getting a lot of Gruden IU questions. Yeah. Look, how about this? He needs a full-on rehab. If Gruden wins 6 games in Bloomington next year, oh, what a great coach. And it's back to him being a coach and not the stupid emails that he sent and got in trouble with and the NFL thing. And I mean, here's the thing, though. He's going to get eaten alive. I don't know if anyone can win at Indiana. I don't know if it can happen. I don't know if it can happen. Michael says, Damon, I've seen that Larry said that he thinks sometimes the NFL pushes teams to be close in games to keep audiences' attention from tuning out. You said you don't believe that to be so. Well, you're talking about rigging a game. I mean, that if the scoreboard is being officiated and that's where the rule book's coming from, you got a rule. When the score is this, we're in this rule book. When the score is this, we're in this rule book. Like, that would be a big enough scandal to bring down the NFL and gambling and, make the too big to fail business actually fail. If that ever came out, there would just be a level of hell to pay that no sport could ever deal with. RIP Cougar Rebel says the in-season tournament is so fucking stupid. Nobody wanted it except Silver. No one really cares. I mean, you get some good games, but you might have had those good games anyways. You telling me that these teams are playing on a different level than they would be because they're so into the tournament? I don't believe it. I don't really see it. I see ugly basketball courts and some stupid alternate jerseys. I'll tell you, nothing will make me watch the NBA, less of the NBA, than an ugly, hard on my eyes basketball court. Otis. Giants are already losing out on guys. Sonny Gray just signed with the Cardinals. Uh-oh. I don't think Sonny Gray is a real... No, I like Sonny Gray. Let me be quiet. I kind of like Sonny Gray. He would have been a good Giant. Damon will have more subscribers than KNBR by the end of the year. Will I? I don't even know. Like I'm so not keeping up with them. They need to worry about keeping up with me. I don't care anymore. I don't care about the radio anymore, and I can feel less people caring about the radio than ever before. So it's good to be over here for sure. La Profesora. My guess for the Giants, they go hard at Ohtani, but they really want, and then they end up getting Yamamoto. Maybe. Dino Nuggets at the kids' table, especially if my kids are involved. T from the 203. Dino Nuggets are the preferred nugget. Damon, where are you located? NorCal? I'm located in a city in NorCal called San Francisco, California. I am talking to you from the technical footprint, the San Francisco proper. I'm not a BART stop a few away from San Francisco. I'm not in the peninsula or in Marin and trying to tell you that I'm in San Francisco. And that's where the show is coming from. JJ Ganja's got the nuggies for sure. Yeah, thank you very much, San Bruno Mike. Yes, he does. Did you see that other Josh Allen against Houston? Dude was a monster for the Jags. Yeah, he was. He had a really good game. The Jaguars are 8-3. What the Ravens are 8-3, I think. Let me look at this real quick. I almost asked this question to Larry. Who you buying more as your AFC 8-3 representative? Because right now, you got the Dolphins. That's the other team that I was thinking of. The Dolphins are 8-3. I still don't know what I make of them. They're good, but the wins against the top shelf opponents have not really stacked up. The Dolphins are 8-3. The Ravens are 9-3. Pardon me. The Jaguars are 8-3, and the Kansas City Chiefs are 8-3 as well. Any one of those teams could go to the Super Bowl. Any one of those teams could go to the Super Bowl. By the way, look out of nowhere, the Denver Broncos are starting to play like we're figuring it out level of football. Like you're getting complimentary. Sean Payton's still good at this. Go for Baroque. I did not miss your super chat. I just get to the chat a little bit later in the show, but I did not miss it. Thank you very much, Go for Broke. I'm sorry if you missed me enjoying and diving into your super chat full of great information. Well, this is lore. Damon, if you have Nick right on, ask him why he hates Brock Purdy. I just think he's set up camp in the wrong location, and he's trying to stand his ground. And again, Brock Purdy keeps on returning data points that if Patrick Mahomes' names were attached to those data points, Nick Wright would be falling over his desk telling you how good Patrick Mahomes was. And Patrick Mahomes is that good. Even without those numbers, he is. But I don't know. I can't explain. I think it's a lot of East Coast folk talking about West Coast teams, and they don't watch. I mean, Nick Wright missed one of the greatest basketball teams in his lifetime because he was just too busy telling you what the Warriors might not be. And in the meantime, they turned into a dynasty and multiple-time NBA champions. R.I.P. Pac-12 after dark, Roddy Richards. Yeah. Again, what happened to the Pac-12, it sucks so bad. I wish we could go back in time and just hit the... Here's the thing. I think if everyone could go back in time and hit the reset button, they would. But the ships have sailed. Maybe USC and UCLA are still bolting, but the rest of that conference might have held together. The TV deal that didn't come would have come in the early portion of Deion's Colorado career. By the way, did the Colorado Buffaloes end the year just playing terrible football? Yes, they did. Welcome to big-time college football, Deion. Couple good weeks does not mean you're about to have a good year. Smiley Dan, you stay nice and safe. Damon, I know it kills you to say that about Purdue. Look, I don't. Here's the thing. Purdue's really good. They're really good. Congratulations on the number one. Do something in the tournament, and then we'll talk. When Purdue is in the Final Four, then you'll see me nervous. Until then, I'm not worried about it. It's like betting on the Lions in the playoffs. Historically, it doesn't happen. Why would this be any different? I don't see the Eagles as that dominant. They've looked beatable. Tiger Tank 06. Beatable, yeah, because some games have been tight, but they keep on winning. All of those might be beatable games. Now, if you're telling me that the 49ers get in there and just blow their doors off, like, oh my God, if that actually happens, I just don't see that happening. That offensive line is too good. Even if it's banged up a little, it's too good. Their defense is too good. They know how to win, man. They know how to win football games. There's a part of your DNA that either is a team that wins or a team that doesn't, and they win. They win a lot. Again, go for broke, which is a great handle, by the way. It says, Damon, through the course of the day yesterday, there were 4 teams in the AFC to have the 1 seed. It was the Dolphins first, then the Jaguars, then the Chiefs, and then finally the Ravens. It's that time up the year. It's that time of the year where they're stacking and restacking themselves. It's why we are absolutely obsessed with this league, because the competition is that narrow. Damon, does YouTube keep stats on how many times we hit emojis on the right side of the live chat? And does that help you when we hit them? Matthew, I'm still so new at this. All I know is how to sing the song. I still don't know how to play the instrument enough to even tell you. I don't know. I know that hitting the like button helps. I know that hitting notify helps. And I know that subscribers help push more content to more new viewers. So, but I don't know. It can't hurt. It can't hurt, right? So, go ahead. Please do. All right. What do we got? What else we got here? I'm getting to the bottom of this chat. The kids are down in L.A. with Jillian on the in-laws side of the family. And because I had to do this and had tickets to the Dons game last night and a few lunches on the calendar, I could not go. So I got the place to myself, which means a buddy of mine will go out and have a little lunch. Damon, ask Nick Wright why he hates the Bay. It's been profitable for him. You know, it's been profitable for him. Nick makes $1 million a year hosting a TV show that people watch, and a lot of people watch things because they hate him. Nick Wright making money off his Purdy hate. It brings in ratings. There's a part of that. And I just think, he likes to be an agitator. And like just about everybody else, he never saw Brock Purdy coming. And not seeing a guy this good coming means you might not know exactly what you're talking about anyway, and nobody wants to admit that except for me. Skills report. I feel like consuming booze. Well, you got to get more aggressive over the weekend, brother. If you're feeling that way on a Monday morning, you got to learn how to get the lead out over the weekend. Or maybe you have a problem. Oh, with a sandwich to chase it back. A booze lunch sandwich chaser. That's a new way to go about it. What else? He's like, I hit those things like 1 million times. Oh, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Some person asking me if I believe in gay rights or that I am gay. If I were gay, I'd be very proud of that. And I believe in rights for everyone. And if you don't, you must go fuck yourself. You're not going to be very, very welcome here. 3 martini lunch and Ike's. Now Kim's onto something. Now you're onto it. Thank you very, very much. Can the 49ers silence the media critics on Sunday? Freddie, the truth is they can't, because these critics got nothing but noise to make. If they had to offer real analysis, they'd be so far out of their own weight classes so quickly that some people only have hot takes to offer, and that's all they got. All they got. We got a little bit more than that, which is why I hope you plan on coming on back over and over again. I thank you for being here today. And now I actually get to hit the button without it being a mistake. So we'll do that here after I tell you, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to get a little early with John Kincaid, 9 a.m. tomorrow. You got things to do, that's fine. It's YouTube, baby. You use it when it's convenient for you. It's always great to hang out with you, though. Thank you so very much. And please do remember that you don't have to go home. You just can't stay here.